Welcome back to The Perspective on Barita Satu. I'm Blaise Hope. With me in the studio, Phelim Kine from Human Rights Watch, talking about the new report, Something to Hide, Indonesia's restrictions on media freedom and rights monitoring in Papua. Let's go to the coverage that's been this week. And top of that has been the Chief Security Minister, Coordinating Minister for Political, Legal and Security Affairs, Luhut Panjaitan. Now, he's spoken about this, and he's quoted here by AFP as saying that he will address this issue.
Yeah, on Wednesday, on November 11th, we encountered Pak Luhut and handed him our report and said, you have a problem here. President Jokowi's policy is not being honored and implemented by the bureaucracy, and there is deep resistance. And Pak Luhut's response was very encouraging. He said, that's unacceptable, and he said that he wanted the names of individuals who were obstructing foreign media access, and if necessary, he would fire them. Now, that's encouraging in the sense that so far, the costs amongst the security agencies and the bureaucracy, the foreign ministry, in non-compliance in terms of this opening of Papua, the costs have been minimal. And he is saying that he's willing to raise the costs of non-compliance in order to ensure that this media freedom opening in Papua really happens. But that's really that's one part of it. The other part of it is the government can do some really simple technical things to make this work. And again,
what are those?
It comes down to this delivering a explicit, in black and white, presidential directive that goes to all relevant agencies and security forces that says, here are the rights of foreign media in Papua, here are your obligations to respect them. That's the first thing. And the second thing, the foreign ministry, which is responsible for supervising foreign media in Indonesia, can issue them a little card that says in Bahasa Indonesia in English that this is a foreign journalist who has the right to report from Papua. If you have any problems with that, call this number. And there should be someone at the foreign ministry who can be the interlocutor to deal with any issues of confusion or contradiction of the policy on the ground in Papua. These are things that absolutely can be done. It's not rocket science, and can be done, it can start to pave the way toward real meaningful media freedom in Papua.
Now, on the local level, do you think it's secure enough?
Papua is a place that has a long-term, low-level insurgency. Is it as safe as central Jakarta? Maybe not. But what we do know is that it is not an area in which there is active, ongoing, serious risks to civilian population and property. So is it safe enough for foreign media? Absolutely.
Now, there's the unsettling element as a journalist is people keeping anonymous when they talk to you, and particularly locals, for fear of reprisals. Mm-hmm. This isn't a new story, but there's something telling that it's two Westerners talking about this, frankly, on TV. Would you agree with me?
I would agree with you on that. And the other angle to that is, part of our report is documenting
troubling.
It's troubling, and a real troubling aspect of this is that in Papua, one of the other issues and challenges they face is that state intelligence agencies and police agencies place paid state agents in newsrooms to monitor, surveil, and in some cases to sort of change the news narrative to suit the government and to suit the local security agencies. So this tells you how, even at the most basic level, in the front lines of media in Papua amongst Indonesian journalists, there are government activities underway that are designed to explicitly undermine media freedom.
Now, what do you say to the woman on the street, the standard Indonesian who is not in Papua, who is not in Jakarta? Mm-hmm. What do you say to them? Yeah. How do they consider this issue?
Here's what I would say to them. I would say to any Indonesian citizen, you have a right to know what's happening in Papua. Papua is an important part of your country. It is the most resource-rich part of your country, which is a huge bonanza for the government and the state and for the citizens of Indonesia. You have a right to know how things are occurring there, how governance is working. And unless you have a functional media freedom there, both in terms of foreign media access and a Indonesian media which isn't handcuffed or muzzled by the state intelligence and security agencies, it's not going to happen. You're not going to know what's going on in that area, and that's a problem for you.
Are we going to see, are these people going to see, the general Indonesian public, Indonesians talking about this, frankly, in front of them? Is this access to information, is it a case of the chicken and the egg?
It's a case in which the people of Indonesia have for so long had such limited and to a large extent stilted or slanted news coverage of Papua that they really don't know what they're missing. And so an opening of foreign media access and a unchaining of domestic Indonesian journalists in Papua would really open up a whole new realm of understanding of this area, which so far, for decades, really has been denied.
Okay, well, we have to wrap up there, Phelim. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
No, thank you for watching us here on The Perspective on Berita Satu. I'm Blaise Hope. Stay tuned. See you next time.